Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream, episode 444. And it's been an interesting weekend. Let's just say that it's been an interesting weekend. Um, as the stream title alludes, we will be talking, of course, about next week. Is the actual election date next Monday. And I still don't know who I'm voting for. This is the first time that's ever happened to me, by the way. Usually I know when I'm going to vote. I am like, I'm voting for this party and this person. And this year, I'm just like, I have no idea. I have no idea who I'm voting for because nobody has shown me that they're worth my vote. But I also don't want to not vote. So that's, a fun conundrum I'm having. And I expressed my my feelings. I for the first time in a long ass time, I put my feelings on the matter on my Facebook page. And I put out a post that was like, it's hard to choose who to vote for, like a member of parliament to vote for, because all of the heads of the parties have shown that, by their lack of, any discussion or mention of us in debate or platform, that they don't care about almost a quarter of the population, because 22% of the population in Canada is disabled somehow. Hi, Elowen. So I put a to that effect. It's hard to choose who to vote for because I'm feeling completely non-represented by every party. There are plenty of issues at the federal level for disabled Canadians, and none of them are being discussed by any party. Legalized dueling. I'm with you, memes. I'm with you. I'm I'm down with that. um so I put that post out there, and I ended it with, everyone talks about diversity and inclusion. Unless you're disabled, then fuck you, I guess. Which is, it's not wrong. And some lovely people in the family, they the I'm not gonna, like, obviously I'm not gonna name them, but the husband of one of Pincalo's family members popped his head up and was like, didn't the Liberals take care of your ass during COVID? And I was like, sure, if you call $1,200 over 18 months taken care of, then yeah, they sure did carry our asses. And then, he continued to say something like, and I said, also there are lots of disabled people who don't have the benefit of an able-bodied spouse who's self-employed the way I do. And that doesn't mean that we don't still struggle. And I'm also allowed to vent my frustration on that and the lack of recognition from any of our politicians on that struggle faced by many people. Hey, Mr. Goatman. And he responds with, There are plenty of jobs for able-bodied and disabled people. You just have to get off your ass and go find one. Um, First of all, Pincolo does work. And second of all, um, yeah, I'll get right on that, finding a job with an employer willing to hire a blind person. Because the sad fact is, and I was just talking about this with my orientation and mobility instructor today, employers who are looking to fill that diversity quotient for the disabled slot are going to go for the people who are high functioning, who have some sort of mental disability. Okay? Or if they do pick someone who's physically disabled, the person, may be deaf or paraplegic. Or if they do go for somebody in the blindness community, they will go for a high partial or somebody with low vision. It it's bad. Oh, you think that's bad, Goat Man? These particular people who went after me on my page, so it was my comment, right? Or it was my post that they started commenting shit on. They hadn't spoken to Pincolo and I for almost 2 years at this point, and this was how they chose to interact with me after not speaking to us for 2 years, was to jump on my post, and basically call me a lazy leech who wants government handouts. And when I kept giving them cogent arguments, the only thing they could come up with is, if you're so unhappy about it, then put down the pot and start lobbying and using your voice for real, not on YouTube. So basically, they have nothing. And so I took them off my Facebook because they don't want to talk to me and Pincolo and RL. And they want to come on a reasonably worded post and start shit for no reason, then they can go away. I have no compunction about that. So that was my Saturday. Oh boy, that was interesting. Yeah, that was a response I got from actual people that I know in real life, to my frustration about not knowing who to vote for because I feel underrepresented because I'm a disabled Canadian. That's how they chose to react. It it was impressive, to say the least. Um, and I'm gonna make a video about this next little portion, um, because I want you guys to actually see the comments and the progression that happened yesterday. But I'm not logged into my TikTok on my laptop right now, and I need to do that. But I'm actually gonna put out like a 10 or 15 minute video. But yesterday, I got attacked, and I'm gonna say attacked because I got descended upon. I'm about to cover the TikTok stuff, and I'm not logged into my TikTok on my laptop, so I'm about to talk about it. So yesterday, or no, actually, a couple weeks back, I posted a video on TikTok, which I actually uploaded to YouTube. The one it's on YouTube. It's titled "Vaccinate Your Crotch Goblins." Okay, it's the lady at the beginning is asking if she should get her baby vaccinated, and I attach my opinion at the end and tell my story. And over the past couple of weeks, I've been dealing with a couple, like here and there, a couple of obvious anti-vaxxers, but it's been manageable, and I've just like laughed it off, right? And so yesterday, I wake up to a comment on this video from a couple weeks back, and the person said, "You got vaccinated and went blind. The other baby got the measles and was fine." Okay, that was the comment they posted. So TikTok has video replies. I wish YouTube would bring that back. I really do. Anyway, TikTok has video replies. So I did one, and I laughed and and was like, "No, that's not how that was. What the hell are you talking about?" And the rest of the day, between comments on that video reply and comments on the original video I posted, I dealt with at least 5 different people, mixed from the original anti-vaxxers, the MMR causes autism, all that stuff. Okay, I had that. To people thinking that I was saying the COVID shot made me go blind. And people actually going so far as to tag me in my very first video on TikTok saying, look, you were blind here before the COVID shot came out." And I'm like, "Well, no shit, you idiot. I'm talking about the childhood vaccines and why you should get those and what happened to me because of somebody not doing so. Of course I was blind before the COVID shot came out." Okay, so I had that group of people trying to say that I was saying the COVID shot made me blind. And then the best one of all, okay, and this is a completely new one. I've never run into this one before. People insisting that I was actually vaccinated at 6 months old for the measles back in 1990, when you had to be 15 months to get vaccinated for the measles, but that's besides the point. They are saying that I was actually vaccinated at 6 months old and that blindness was a side effect of the MMR shot. People, the one person was arguing with me in text for 2 goddamn hours, trying to catch me in a lie, I guess, about how I was actually vaccinated when I went blind. And if I had my trying to say that, I gave the measles to the other kid. Did I have, was I vaccinated? I'm like, yeah, I had my boosters when I got older, but I was too young to be vaccinated when I got sick. And he just kept insisting that I was vaccinated and went blind. And I've replied to him in a video. And then he was like, "You don't have to be so rude." It's like, yeah, I do. I really do. And and I've never been told before in all of my time, I've dealt with anti-vaxxers my whole life, telling me, one of the things that they've told me is that the person was probably vaccinated, but since they vaccinate with a live virus, and they actually think that instead of a weakened, dead virus vaccine, which is what MMR is, these idiots think that doctors are injecting people with a full viral payload of a fully activated measles, mumps, rubella cocktail. Like, that's what these morons think. And I've had people tell me, oh, that they were probably vaccinated. They just shed the virus when they went to visit you. Like, I've been told all that. I've been told that bullshit. Um, but I have never, until yesterday, been told that I'm the other one was that I was lying about how I went blind, uh just basically just to scare people into getting vaccinated. I had never been told that one before, and I had also never been told that my blindness was a side effect of the MMR shot. That's a new one. Um and there are like a lot of people have said, oh, the people who are against, the COVID shot aren't aren't quite are anti-vaxxers. You know, some of them are. Some of them really, really are, because they are like, they hopped on the thing on my post and they tried their best to take my story and twist it into, like, this is why you shouldn't get the COVID shot. Um, it was disgusting. Like, between the idiots about talking about COVID and the idiots saying that my blindness is actually a vaccine damage, like a vaccine injury. Um, it it was fucking ridiculous. And then the icing on the cake was the first video reply I told you about, the one that I did in the morning after I woke up to find the first dumb comment. Around 8 o'clock last night, somebody reported me for bullying and harassment. After I had spent all goddamn day, like, and I don't use the term bullying online very often because you're online and there are idiots, right? But I spent all day being I spent all day pretty much being badgered and harassed by these people, and I got hit with bullying and harassment because they couldn't handle somebody who stood up to them. It was fucking fantastic. I was human when I was a child, had a vax and turned into a goat. that was that was pretty funny. But it was just it was insane. Like, I could not fucking believe. Like, I've watched Sursic videos. Okay? I've seen crazy mental gymnastics. But the shit I was dealing with yesterday was just unfathomable. And then I get hit with bullying and harassment. I've appealed it, but the video is still being reviewed. It's still under review. So right now, that one reply it's not there. If you go through my profile where all my videos are, you'll see a thing that just says community violation, and then you'll double tap on it and the video pops up, but there's no sound or anything like that. Um, it, it's, I'm just, like, really? There are nutters on both sides, Goatman. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely correct. But it was so ridiculous. Just, I couldn't, between freaking Saturday and yesterday, I was just like, wow. Wow, the amount of stupidity and just like not even an attempt to have an intelligent, calm discussion. Just 0 to 100 coming straight in and being as nasty and inflammatory as possible. And it's like I can be inflammatory, I can be nasty, but I generally try to not to do that right away. You know what I mean? I try to at least engage in a discussion first. And then if I get some bullshit, I'm like, okay, you're gonna bullshit me? Fine, I'm done being nice to you. But I generally try to start things out with some level of courtesy. And it was just, there was none of that. Oh, proper testing is absolutely. Like, things should absolutely be properly tested before everybody uses them. So yeah, that was my adventure this weekend. And today I had the chance to go to an advanced polling station and vote, but I didn't go because I I honestly do not know who to vote for. And it's a big part of it is that none of the parties have included any and yes, there are a lot of disability issues that need to be dealt with at the provincial level, but there are definitely some that need to be addressed at the federal level, and especially the feds need to step in and tell the provinces, listen, you cannot claw back federal assistance from provincial disability checks. That is not the same money. You need to stop that. Like, that is a federal issue that nobody in the parties has addressed. And that's one of the big reasons. And the other reason I don't know who to vote for is I watched the debate last Thursday. And it was ridiculous. There was no actual attempt by any of the leaders to make themselves palatable for election. Like, I cannot see any of those people leading our country and making us look anything but a joke. I mean, Trudeau's already done that. O'Toole's not strong enough. Maxime's not going to win at all. The people who are voting for him are going to split the Conservatives so much that Trudeau's going to just end up being reelected. And we've got freaking an Amy Paul who takes every opportunity to throw the victim card and the diversity card into any conversation she has. And then there's Jagmeet Singh, who just wants the money tree to continuously drop fat bundles of cash. Like, you think Trudeau thinks there's a money tree? You just there's actually a thing here that Pincalo sent me that they've actually revealed their costed plan. So we're gonna go through that. But nobody is going to lead us well. And when the heads of the parties are that bad, like, how do I know that the MPs are going to even be able to get anything done, let alone have the wish and the passion to do so. I just don't know who the fuck to vote for. So this just puts this is amazing. Okay? I'm sure you guys remember me covering back when it broke the SNC Lavalin scandal, where Trudeau and his cabinet, with the exception of Jody Wilson-Raybould, who was the Attorney General, I want to say, or she was the justice, something like the Minister of Justice or something like that. She was very high-ranking legal, like, why the hell is the Bloc welcome into a national debate? That's a great question. Yeah, he did say that, Goatman, and it's so frustrating that he gets to be there. If Mr. Wigglesworth the cat was on the ballot, I would vote for him. Yeah. So, but anyway, Trudeau let this construction company, SNC Lavalin, take a contract in Libya. And Jody was like, this is not good. This is not legal. You need to not be doing this and not allowing this. And Trudeau was like, oh, okay, well, I guess you don't get to have this position anymore then. So he's such a feminist that when women stand up to him, he just kicks them out of their fucking cabinet position. So she wrote a book about it. And this is Trudeau's response. We're gonna read about it. So Trudeau again claims Jody Wilson-Raybould's story false. I did not want her to lie. I did not want her to lie. I would never do that. I would never ask her that. That is simply not true. There's a stream on my channel where I play a recorded conversation that Miss Raybould recorded herself, between herself and one of the people in the PMO, the Prime Minister's office, and he was basically passing on a message from Trudeau to her saying, like, play ball or this isn't going to go well for you. It is on record, Mr. Prime Minister, that you did this. This is insane. Okay, let's carry on here. Here we go. Let's read.
Justin Trudeau may as well have looked into the cameras and said the story in the Globe was false. You are currently in a text. Story continues. Third party ad. Save frame container. End of. Chrome has new window. You asked to respond to a personal, detailed account laid out in an excerpt from Jody Wilson-Raybould's new book. That is what Trudeau did. He said she wasn't telling the truth.
Yeah.
YouTube video. Group. YouTube. End of. The excerpt was published Saturday morning in the Globe and Mail and detailed how Wilson-Raybould was pushed from cabinet by Prime Minister who wanted her to interfere in a criminal prosecution, to throw in the towel to help liberal-friendly firm SNC Lavalin. Kinsella. Questions around sexual assault.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So he wanted her to make the investigation go away. And she said no. And he said, make it go away or lose your cabinet. And she said no. And so she lost her cabinet position. I can't make the volume go any higher. I'm trying. I don't know why it's stuck so low. It's literally, ever since we were doing that test stream with slobs, the volume whenever I unplug my headphones is stuck at that level. I can't change it. I don't know why. Um it's I don't know.
In that moment, I knew he wanted me to lie. Wilson Raybould writes in her memoir Indian in the Cabinet. You are currently... She was detailing a February 2019 meeting she had with Trudeau at a downtown Vancouver hotel to discuss reports in the media that he had pressured her to break the law and interfere in the criminal case. Trudeau had denied that report by saying the story in the Globe was false.
Yeah. Yeah.
Story continues. Third party.
She has been, yeah, and what's worse for Trudeau, okay, is not only is she a woman and he claims to be a feminist, all right, she's also Native. Okay, and he claims that he's working with Indigenous people, and he wants to make that, make things right and reconcile. And this is how he treats an Indigenous woman who dares to stand up to him and go, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Save frame container. End of. Third party YouTube frame. End of. Group. Unmute video button. Those of us in attendance with Trudeau that day could read his body language, listen carefully to the tone in his voice, and tell easily that he was lying. The Globe story turned out to be entirely accurate, something even he admits now. But on Saturday, when he was asked about trying to get Wilson Raybould to lie more than 2 years ago, Trudeau denied the accusation. I did not want her to lie. I would never do that. I would never ask her that. That is simply not true, Trudeau said.
There's actually a video. I found it on TikTok. It's a very short clip. I wish I knew where the whole video is, but Trudeau's actually trying to make himself cry. Like, you can hear the crocodile tears. That's fine. I think I know what I did. Oh, okay. It's disgusting. Like, you can hear the sniffling and the quavering in his voice.
Do you think Tuesday's release of Jody Wilson Raybould's book, Indian in the Cabinet, could cost Trudeau the election? You are...
No. Not enough people are gonna read it.
Yes. Radio. Yes. No. Link. View result. Story continues below. Third party ad content. Save frame container. Frame. End of. It's hard to believe him on this file. He lied when first asked about it 2 years ago, and lied for weeks to come until evidence was presented at committee proving he and his staff had tried to interfere in a criminal trial in a corruption case. Once caught lying, he changed his story to say it was the right thing to do.
Yes, he did. He surely did.
Why should we believe him now? Trudeau was asked that. Why believe him over Wilson Raybould? And his answer was, this is something that was discussed 2 years ago and that people voted in the election. You are currently on a
No, it wasn't. Because it was barely over. And you were lying about it. Oh my God. Why can you not say anything truthful?
Heading level 2. More. Link. Heading level 3. Next item in carousel. 2 story continues below. Third party ad content. Save frame container. End of has new ink. That's not actually an answer to the end of. That's not actually an answer to the question, though. It's a dodge, an attempt not to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, because that's what Trudeau's best at. Verbal dodging.
Wilson Raybould describes in her book how Trudeau turned on her when he realized he couldn't get his way, that she wouldn't lie for him.
He did turn on her. He absolutely turned on her.
Before I could leave, he started to talk in his aggressive and condescending way about how much work we had done and still had to do. Wilson Raybould writes. That aggressive nature, that change in tone, that condescension is all similar to what former Liberal MP Selina Caesar-Chavon said she experienced from Trudeau when she told him she was leaving the Liberal Party. In her book, Can You Hear Me Now?, she described how he lashed out, talked down to her, and said he couldn't lose 2 women of color at the same time.
Wow, the blatant racism. I can't lose 2 of you at the same time. I can't lose 2 of you colored people at the same time. I can't leave. Oh. Wow. Jesus Christ. No, not my diversity quota. You can't make me lose my diversity quota.
Story continues below. Third-party ad content. Save frame continue. End of. So familiar. So incredible. So hurtful. So powerful. Caesar Chavon tweeted Saturday, adding she stands with Wilson Raybould. You are currently on a text element. Twitter. Frame 8. End of. Twitter. Story continues below. Third-party ad content.
Yeah, this, so...
Window. End of. Conservative leader Erin O'Toole reacted to the excerpt on the campaign trail Saturday. You are correct. It's a reminder that Mr. Trudeau will say and do anything to win, and never has any intention of actually putting Canadians and the needs of the country first, O'Toole said. You are...
See, this is what Functional and I were saying, okay? He's a lot stronger when he's, like, on the, like, when he's dealing with people in person, when he's in the House of Commons. He's a lot stronger when he gets in front of cameras or, you know, on a debate stage. That's when he gets weak. JT, what a piece of garbage. Yep. Very, very much so, Mr.
NDP
Goatman.
leader Jag Meeting said he believed Wilson Raybould over Trudeau. You are...
Well, yeah. It's not... Jagmeet, that's not... You're not making some, you know, huge conclusion. It's easy to believe Wilson Raybould over Trudeau. That's not a very high bar.
It's another example of this pattern of behavior that we are seeing from Mr. Trudeau of kicking strong women out of his cabinet, Singh said. You are currently on a text... YouTube video.
That one I'll give him.
End of. Unmute video. While the SNC Lavalin scandal resulted in Trudeau being found guilty of violating Canada's ethics laws for which he received no penalty. In the 2019 election, the issue was raised repeatedly. The Liberals lost more than 900,000 votes and won 20 seats less than the 2015 election. You are... While Trudeau thinks this issue is in the past, this excerpt will change that. The full book is out Tuesday and will likely raise even more issues.
Oh, probably.
Link.
But I don't think enough people are going to read it. That's the problem. There will be people that will read it, that's for sure, but enough people to sway anything? I don't think so. I don't think that at all. Oh, don't be sorry, Goat Man. There is way too much division going on right now. It's insane. Division between vaccinated and unvaccinated, division between people who wear masks and people who don't wear masks, division between people who have different colored skin, division between people who have different sexual orientation, division between politics. It's and the vitriol that's being spewed in this division is just... I don't think the people engaged in it understand how much damage they're doing. Not just to the people nearest to them, but in a group sense. Like, when you put all of these people who are furthering this divide on either side of whatever divide it is, the more they spew hatred at the people in the center and across the divide at each other, the more social damage and psychological damage they're going to cause. And we're going to drive ourselves into this forced antisocial behavior because nobody is going to want to socialize for fear of being drawn into some horrific argument in where their very moral character is being questioned because they happen to have a different viewpoint. It's I really don't think. And the funny thing is you can tell how much today's um, classes in social science and psychology are a joke, because the people that tend to be responsible for helping this divide progress like claim to have degrees in, in social science, political science, um, you know, psychology, and there's no thought process. There's no pause for where people are going, hang on a minute. Is our behavior going to cause long-lasting social changes in behavior because everybody is too afraid to be different? So they just don't talk. They just don't socialize. They just don't do anything. Even 20 years ago, we were more happy. Yeah, you're right, Goat Man. You're right. It's bad. Witness what I was talking about like earlier in the stream, where like, yeah, I've dealt with dumbass people, all my life when it comes to how I went blind and everything. But like, to have people come at me and tell me that I'm like, just actually accuse me of lying about how I went blind, and that I actually was injured by the vaccine and I'm just covering it up. Um like, the insanity of that is flabbergasting to me. I don't understand people's thought process at that point. Hello, Costin. Yeah, Goatman says, I'll be 47 in November. I have generally seen how people have become less happy and more angry toward each other. It generally makes me sad. Yeah. It's true. We have stopped trying to be we've stopped trying to help each other and help, like, collectively help each other in order to help ourselves. Because we used to have this understanding where if we helped somebody else, we could event like it could affect us in a good way. Helping somebody else could, provide us with some assistance ourselves in a different way that we may not think of. And now it's just like, no, everyone else sucks. Like, the combination of narcissism and nihilism at the same time is so weird, because there's this mindset right now of everyone around me sucks. Everyone else is wrong. I'm right. But also, I am a horrible person. I hate myself. I have every mental health issue in the book. Yeah, my picture's on the cover of the DSM-5. I hate myself and I'm mentally fucked up. But everyone else sucks more. And everyone else is wrong more. So I take comfort in that. How is it possible that blind press can read the comments? Okay, so hold on. Let me turn this up for you. So I've got an iPhone. And every iPhone has a thing in the accessibility settings called VoiceOver. You just have to turn it on. So hold on.
2:15 p.m. But Elvis, how is it possible that blind press can read the comments?
That's how. I know it's a little fast. A lot of people say that, but It's a screen reader. So yeah. No, it's a new person. I think it's one of Skeptalk's followers. I think, I'm not sure. Where am I here? So this is we're gonna go through some of this. This is Jagmeet Singh's video. I think it's a CPAC video about the actual cost of his platform. So we're gonna go through this we're gonna go through some of this. I'm not sure if we're gonna go through all of it, but we're gonna go through some of it. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. Mr. Goatman is old. I won't be 47 until next August. Okay, here we go.
Will ensure that we are not going to put any extra burden on working class people, on the middle class, on small businesses. Our plan is the only one with a credible vision to increasing revenue significantly and substantially so that we can invest in the programs that people need, the help that people need, at the same time as putting us in a better position to reduce our debt.
Next question, we have Karina Roman from CBC News.
Hello there. You have in this platform and the costed ambitious spending, ambitious revenue projections. Yep. For one of them, for example, the wealth tax, the PBO has said there are some uncertainty about, who we're basing that on, assumptions of behavior. There is a lot of uncertainty when it comes to coming up with these numbers. How realistic do you think your costed platform is?
Some of that uncertainty is because it hasn't been done before. And I acknowledge that. It hasn't been done before recently, but it is.
It hasn't been done before recently? What?
It is a real path forward that's going to start asking those at the very, very, very top to start paying their fair share. And it is something that Canadians believe makes sense. And while it hasn't been something that we've done recently, and that's why there's some uncertainty.
We haven't done it ever. Usually people understand that when you are you Robin Hood? He thinks he's Robin Hood. I just figured it out. Jagmeet Singh thinks he is Robin Hood. Oh my God.
It has been something that we've done in the not too distant past. There was a time when the super wealthy paid more of their fair share, when the burden didn't fall on families as much, and when wealthy corporations and the ultra wealthy were contributing more fairly. There was a time when that happened, and that's what we want to return to. That the burden should not be shouldered by the middle class.
What year was that, sir? And who was in power? Why are you being so vague?
Working people, it should be those at the very, very top that are actually shouldering their fair share. And that hasn't been the case for a long time because of Liberal and Conservative governments, and we want to fix that.
And in terms of the excess profit tax for, as you say, corporations that made out like bandits during the pandemic is how I think you put it this morning. Right. Is it fair to apply a tax like that to companies, no matter how well they did, when they didn't know about this before the pandemic? The pandemic happened, they did well, and now we're going to tax how well they did. Is that fair?
No.
Yeah, it's very fair.
How? How is that fair? People still had to get shit done. That's like saying freaking... That's like saying Pincalo should be punished because he was still able to work during the pandemic, and thankfully we didn't do too badly. So because he did well during the pandemic, because of having to still operate during the pandemic, it's like, oh yeah, Pink Hollow, You did well during the pandemic. Therefore, you're going to be taxed more. Because you did well. How dare you, you asshole. You are a pandemic profiteer. God damn it. It's just this time, some asshole on Twitter's not calling you a profiteer. The fucking government will be. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Holy shit.
We did it in the World War time period.
What the hell? Voiceover. Voiceover. Hello? Is there a particular reason you've decided to stop working? Like, literally, nothing is talking. See? Jagmeet's thing is so full of shit, my computer has just decided that it's done. Isn't that incredible? Who the hell is... What? Why is somebody from Toronto calling me? Go away. Yeah, voiceover has literally, like, my computer is... Nothing is like, I'm still broadcasting. Is voiceover evil? Right now, yes. Yeah, the video is paused, but it won't even let me unpause it. Like, everything is frozen. Like, voiceover's not working. The YouTube, it won't unpause for me. Like, it's... Wow. That's special. Yeah. It's like my computer just was like, no, I've had enough of this lying asshole. I'm not playing anymore of this video. Oh my god. This is really voiceover. This is what you're gonna do to me.
Mute M.
What? Why are my headphones not working?
Mute M. You are currently on a button. 100% volume.
Oh! Amazing! It's my headphones that aren't working. Okay, now voiceover's back. Everything's good. There we go. Okay. We've figured it out. Everything just came back. Okay. Let's try some more. We're going to go for a few more minutes. And then I've got to do my dishes and pick up my kidlets.
Period in the world wars, there were companies that were profiteering, and some of them might have not been doing it purposely, but if the conditions of a crisis mean that everyday folks have had to sacrifice and small businesses struggle, but there's some companies, just because they're in the right place at the right time, made record profits while everyone else suffered, and we're wondering who should pay their fair share for this crisis. I would think it makes sense that
Oh, you mean because you forced everybody to order online because everybody had to stay the fuck home. So things like Amazon got, record profits because nobody had a choice. You set up the provincial governments and the state governments in the US set up the fucking scenario where everyone had to order online. And now you want to punish the companies that were able to have an online presence for making profits because you forced everybody to stay home and not go to brick and mortar stores. And you're saying that's profiteering. Are you serious? You force a scenario where people have to use specific companies, and then you punish those companies because you made it so that people had to use them, so they therefore made more money than other people and then other companies because you made it so people couldn't freaking go there. Oh my God.
If someone made money off of the pandemic, then they've got a responsibility morally to contribute a bit more. And this is not a brand new idea. We acknowledged the importance of this during the World War period. There was profiteering taxes, and we adjusted them to make sure they worked. And we're saying, let's do the same. Like Amazon, I keep on coming back to this example, but it is pretty outrageous how.
Okay. Jagmeet. Using the World War period as an example is not analogous, okay? There was no online shopping in the World War period, and people were not. Oh, thank you for the donation. Let me check Streamlabs. There were no it was easier to see and more obvious when, oh shit, no, don't do that. Close that. So there was no, the other big thing, Mr. Singh, that you are not taking into consideration is that during the World War period, I'm pretty sure governments did not force a scenario in which specific companies were the only option for the general public or for the military. Okay? The governments in this situation forced a scenario where the general public had to use Amazon because they weren't allowed to go to the mom and pop shop down the street because of lockdowns. So why are you punishing Amazon for the shit that you guys created? Oh yeah, Amazon sucks, man. Fuck Amazon, even though we made it so people had to use them. They should totally be punished. Oh, wow. Mr. Goatman, thank you. Tell me what it says, voiceover. Don't be an asshole. Well, apparently, according to voiceover, I can't see a donation, or a donation message. But thank you, sir, for the donation. So let's see here. Let's do a little bit more.
How much they've earned in this pandemic, how much of a record profit that they've earned, and the fact that they pay virtually nothing in Canada in terms of taxes. And I mean, that's already a problem. But on top of that,
they pay virtually nothing in Canada for taxes. Really? What are their distribution centers paying in taxes? I'm pretty sure you guys could make money there. I'm pretty sure you guys do.
there should be an extra portion that companies that have made out like bandits that they pay. And Canadians agree with that. That makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
Next question, Annie Bergeron-Oliver from CTV News.
Hi, Mr. Singh. Your platform pledges to spend about $214 billion over the next 5 years, which is roughly 3 times what the Liberals are proposing, as well as the Conservatives. Given the spending that's in here, do you not think this is a document that voters could have benefited from seeing earlier? You did release your platform a month ago.
Thank you, CTV. I usually don't say that, but thank you.
Well, it's not a surprise to Canadians. We have been very consistent that we want to invest in people. That is not a surprise. We've said for a long time. We believe that we've got to lift up people. We've done that throughout the pandemic. We've proposed that before the election. We've long been saying that we need to invest in people. We believe in that. We're absolutely firmly confident that that is the right way to move forward. And we've also said the way that we're going to pay for this is not going to be on the workers.
Oh,
it's not going to be on the middle class. And we've also been really clear on that. This document just highlights what we've been saying for a long time and provides more details. But the plan has been really clear to Canadians. We're going to invest in you, and we're not going to put the burden on you. We're going to ask that
we're going to invest in you, but we're not going to put the burden on you, even though we're totally going to put the burden on you. And I also think I'm Robin Hood.
ultra wealthy pay their fair share, and that's what today's document outlines.
The provinces have been asking for $28 billion in health transfers. Your platform, Costed, does not provide any clear specifics about health transfers.
No, because he wants the entire program to be federal. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? He wants an NHS-style system. Because that works so very well over in Britain. There's plenty of people that are getting prompt and good health care over there. Oh, wait.
I know officials were saying there is $68 billion in health spending, but it still won't reach that $28 billion. So what do you say to the provinces, and specifically Quebec, who have been pushing and asking for $28 billion specifically from the feds?
We say to provinces and territories and to Quebec that we are investing the most in healthcare. If healthcare is something that you care about, New Democrats are offering the most investments in healthcare, far more than Liberals and Conservatives. Just our pharmacare investments alone are more than what the Conservatives are investing. That $10 billion to put in place a national universal pharmacare is more than the Conservatives' plan. That's just one of our commitments. So if healthcare is a question that people are concerned about, and they're wondering about who's going to invest the most into keeping our public system public and investing in it so we can be there for people when they need it, our plan offers the most investments.
Yes, the most investments to make our public health system just like Britain's, because that system is awesome.
And for Quebec, that applies as well. Our plan will invest the most in healthcare, and that will help people in Quebec and across Canada.
Next question, Richard Sussman from Global News.
There's no path in here to get back to balanced budgets. When should Canadians expect, if there is an NDP government, to get back to the books being balanced?
We have the most aggressive plan to actually increase revenue to get us in a better position to reach that balance. And we believe that's important, but we wouldn't do it on the backs of people. And we would get to that better position financially, fiscally, by the measures that we've outlined: closing the loopholes, ending the offshore tax havens, the wealth tax, returning the capital gains inclusion back to what it used to be.
Notice how he says we don't want to do this on the backs of people, and then outlines a whole bunch of things that will affect people, but just the wrong type of people, like the people that are rich. And according to his logic, those people aren't people. Do you ever notice that? You know what's funny about that, Goatman? That's an actual thing Trudeau said. The budget will balance itself.
In the 2000s. The metrics or the measures that we're putting forward will ensure that the burden does not fall on workers, does not fall on families, but puts us in a better position to pay down our debt in a way that puts the burden on the wealthiest, on
Who are not people. And I'm Robin Hood.
the billionaires, on the companies like Amazon. And that's the right way to move forward. And we've been long saying that that's the way we would go forward. The Liberals and Conservatives have a different approach. They're not looking at increasing revenue in a significant way like we are. And they are going to be cutting that help that people need.
But is there a path there? Like, you haven't answered whether there is a path to get to the books being balanced.
You notice that even the corporate media, the mainstream media, is it's when the media, when the mass media, when the mainstream media is sitting there going, but there's no actual path here. You have a problem, okay? When the mainstream media is talking to you, and you are the person who talks diversity and all the way Jagmeet does, when the media is talking to you like this, you've got an issue.
Yeah, there's a path. And our path is that path to get to that point should be about increasing revenue.
Our
making
path
sure
is that path.
that the ultra wealthy are paying more of their fair share like they used to. And we are the only ones laying out a credible path to getting to a position where we're in balance.
How many times is he going to say path? Dude, when you explain how you're going to do something, you're not supposed to actually, like, you're supposed to use other words to describe how you're going to get there. That's like asking somebody to define a word. Like, that's like, saying, could you define the word establishment for me? And someone going, well, establishment means establishment. The establishment of things. That's what he's doing right now. The reporter's like, is there a path? Well, yeah, there's a path. Well, what is it? Oh, well, this path is very good. We just created this path. And its path is, we must follow this path to its conclusion. And this path is going to be a very good path. Okay, well, what is it? You've said path like 8 times. What is the goddamn path? Jag is very wealthy, so he will pay too. Oh, no, see, he's in the millionaires club, so he's not quite wealthy enough. You see? He's just under that wealthy line where he will escape most of that hefty taxing. Okay, we're going to do about 5 more minutes.
Doesn't actually help to people or put burden back on the same people that have struggled. We are the only ones providing a plan that gets us back towards balance while we can still invest in people that puts the burden on those that shouldn't pay their fair share, the billionaires.
Next question. Next question, Menaka Raman-Wilms from the Globe and Mail.
Hi, Mr. Singh.
Hey there.
Yesterday's event in Burnaby was all about voting early in advanced polls, but anyone who voted yesterday or earlier today would have done so without seeing your costed budget. So if you want people to be informed when they're making this decision, doesn't the timing of releasing this costing now go against that idea?
Yes.
Well, the costing is just more details about what we've always said. From the beginning, we've told.
That's what she just said to you, dude. She's asking why you didn't release those more details before the election started or right when it started so that people could be informed. Good Lord. Oh my God. Are you that stupid? Or are you just that much of a liar? Or both? Maybe both.
Told people we're not going to increase taxes on working class, on the middle class. We said clearly we're going to make the billionaires pay their fair share. And we've
See?
been really
The billionaires. So he's fine. he's safe. He specifically decided the billionaires were the ones that should pay.
Clear about investing in the programs that people need and the help that people need. This document is exactly what we've been saying all along with more details. But nothing has changed. We've long said we're going to make sure that it's the super wealthy that pay their fair share. That's what this document shows. We've long said we're going to invest in people in really bold ways. And we continue to maintain that position. We are a party that was the founder of healthcare, and it should come as no surprise that we are investing the most in healthcare.
Really? Lester B. Pearson was an NDP guy? I didn't know that. Oh, wait. He wasn't, you liar. Fucking Lester B. Pearson came up with the whole idea of the social health care and the, like, all that. That was a Lester B. Pearson thing. The NDP has... I don't even think the New Democrat Party was a party when Lester B. Pearson came up with that. I think they were still, like, the Social Credit Party or some shit like that. And I don't think they were on the ballot. So, what the hell are you talking about, Mr. Singh?
More than any other party, because we know people need help. And so what we provided today is no different from what we've been saying all along, and just provides more details. But the values and our commitments remain the same.
Okay, but that's what she said. She just asked why you didn't provide those details, before the advanced polling opened. And again, you defined a word by using the word, and you went, yes, it's a very detailed plan. We just released it now because it has more details. Even though that's exactly what you just said to me. It's a very detailed plan, and we've released it now because it just says what we've been saying all along, just with more details. I'm waiting for a reporter. Like, sometimes I wish I were a journalist. I, very, very, very occasionally wish that, so that I could get into these events. And when somebody says something like this, I want to go, sir, let me stop you right there. I just said that. Could you please actually answer my question? That's it. I'm just waiting for a reporter to be like, yes, I know it's detailed. I just said that. Could you tell me why you released the more details so late? Could you please answer my question? Oh my god. Okay, guys. I don't think I can take much more of Mr. Singh here. So we're gonna end this shit show. And I'm gonna go and do my dishes. Get ready to pick up my boys. Thank you for watching, and thank you very much, Mr. Goatman, for the donation. I do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to tune in on Wednesday for Wednesdays with Skep, and I will see you guys. Also, don't forget to tune in tonight for Beat the Blind Girl, where we're going to be doing some more Mortal Kombat, so be sure to catch that. So thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the day.